How His Excellency Yoweri Museveni found himself trapped in the middle of William Ruto's troubles. Hello, welcome, and thanks for taking your time joining us live on Projan Media TV. That brings the latest news and the latest updates in the country and across the world. Kindly do one thing, turn on the notification button. All these updates will come to you in time. Yesterday, Kenya's Deputy President William Ruto was snatched off a private jet en route to Uganda where he was due to make a visit. Ruto's camp said he was supposed to be in Uganda but cited his reason for the visit as private. To confirm this flight, the manifesto shows that Ruto was going to use a private chartered Cessna 560XL jet to fly to Uganda, but he was intercepted and asked to seek clearance, which never came. Ruto's Communications Secretary David Mugonyi expressed surprise at new rule, and he said in all his travels all these years, this has not happened. So it is reported that Ruto was on his way to Uganda and arrived at Wilson Airport in time for his private flight, but he was, however, told the plane could not take off until there is clearance. Having waited for several hours and making frantic calls to President Uhuru Kenyatta, Ruto and his entourage failed to secure the clearance, and according to Ruto's handlers, he later decided to return home after calling off the visit. This was going to be Ruto's second visit to Uganda in less than a month, having been here on 7th of July to lay a foundation for the multi-billion biological drugs and mRNA vaccine manufacturing facility at Matuga in Wakiso district, together with President Yoweri Museveni. The planned visit came at a time as Kenya's 2022 general elections take place shape. And in Kapchora meeting in 2015, Ruto campaigned for Museveni in Kapchora, striking a lifetime partnership with East Africa's kingmaker. Young people must be the forefront to vote for leadership that will guarantee peace and stability so we can build our economy, expand opportunities for young people, so therefore they eliminate poverty and create jobs. Ruto said that as he campaigned for Museveni in Kapchora. Both Ruto and Museveni used the latter's vehicle as they combed for votes in Kapchora. Ruto had earlier arrived in Kapchora aboard a private chopper before he met Museveni at then newly constructed state lodge in the hilly area. The two would later address a joint press conference where Ruto highlighted the partnership between Uganda and Kenya before they later addressed a gathering at Kapchora Boma grounds. The president of Uganda and all the leaders in Kapchora and Sebei region are saying that he greeted them all in the name of the Lord. And Ruto said as he took the podium, therefore he said, I come to bring together the East African region as a Kenyan. The Kenyan deputy president was then escorted by several MPs from the Kenyan parliament, who included Dr. Robert Pukose from the Endebess constituency, Julius Mary, Tirederet constituency, and Senator Tiole Dieme from Trans Nzoia County. And speaking Swahili, English, and Kalenjin, Ruto told the people of Kapchora that both countries are engaged in joint development projects like the road from Kapchora Bukwa Swam in Uganda to Kitale in Kenya as one of the ways to foster togetherness as the East African community, and said this would enhance development. And because of the peace and stability that the NRM has brought in Uganda, such projects can go on. It is important that the young people at the forefront of fighting for this peace ushered into Uganda and region at large. Ruto also added on that it is important that you invest in the future with this good leadership. President Museveni said it is important for the people of both countries to cooperate so as to foster development. His Excellency Ruto is here because he is supporting the national resistance movement ideology of nationalism in Uganda, Pan-Africanism in Africa, as Museveni said during the campaign time in Kapchora region. And during the press conference, Ruto instead insisted there was no harm in campaigning for Museveni, adding that he was not interested in Uganda's politics. Political parties are institutions of building politics and democracy because those engaged in the politics have the task of rallying people behind political parties. This can be another way of sharing ideas and experiences as far as politics is concerned, on top of learning new things. So politicians from either country can become interested in what is happening in the other country, as Ruto says. Ruto also used this occasion to indirectly attack opposition figures like Dr. Chiza Besigye and Amama Mbabazi, who had just met then Kenya's opposition strongman, that is Raila Odinga. Therefore, he said there is no problem with them meeting Odinga because this is a free democracy, but they met someone who lost and could have only learnt lessons on how to lose. This meeting, at least for the public eye, could have been the beginning of the deep friendship and cooperation between President Museveni and Ruto. And not only that, Ruto kept on giving more visits to Uganda. So that was in 2018, Ruto was again back with Museveni at launch of the 150-kilometer Kapchorwa-Swam road that would link to Kenya. The Deputy Kenyan President waxed lyrical about Museveni's leadership proves, and the two held talks privately. In the same year, Ruto was chief guest at an event dubbed Young Achievers Award at Kampala Serena Hotel, where he was given a Lifetime Achievement Award. And a year later, that was in 2019, Ruto was again hosted in Uganda to launch the William Ruto Leadership Institute at Makerere University. However, before the event at Makerere, Ruto had made a journey to Museveni State Lodge, where he met President Museveni and the two held private talks. So during the talks, the two principals agreed on a united Africa with Ruto, urging that borders should not exist but trade between nations. The sooner we forge East African Federation, the sooner our prosperity becomes meaningful to our people. That is what Ruto said in their meeting in Museveni. Ruto returned to Uganda in July 2021 at the launch of biochemical industry along Bombo Road, once again calling for support for President Museveni in his quest for East African leadership. Therefore, he said, you owe us a debt before you retire, and if possible, in the next 2 or 3 years, you owe us the fruition of the East African Federation. Ruto told Museveni, who replied in the affirmative, let me take you there and go look after my cows, Museveni said in a reply. The two leaders later met at State House in Entebbe and talked at length mostly about Ruto's candidature for presidency in Kenya. Therefore, what is in their meetings? Every time when Ruto and His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni meet, what do they talk about and what is in their meetings and their private talks? So Ruto has opened an account with President Museveni to focus on political and economic ties. On all occasions the two have met, Ruto has appeared with investors, something that many say interests Museveni, who is hell-bent on turning Uganda into an industrial powerhouse. And most importantly, Ruto is using the business angle to get the eye of President Museveni, whom he is aware has a great network to help him launch his presidency. And in these specific talks at Entebbe, Ruto finally popped the proposal to President Museveni, who rebuked him over his campaign style. Museveni, according to sources at the State House, told Ruto to stop engaging in war with President Kenyatta and instead seek peace with him to highlight his chances of reaching Kenyan State House. Museveni asked Ruto to adopt a friendly fire with Kenyatta and, if possible, push for reconciliation, which would rule out competition from the rest. Ruto's team, however, dismissed reports regarding such a talk and insisted it was just another visit with nothing much in it. Therefore, Ruto is seeking a regional ally, so it's not a secret anymore that Ruto is in the Kenyan presidential race, and with Museveni seen by many as a force to reckon within the politics of the region. The Kenyan president is therefore seeking regional backing and funding, Ruto is also aware that Museveni's biggest interest in East African Federation, which he is willing to support as long as Museveni gives him backing on end. And in an election, regional leadership support is an important aspect, and Ruto is willing to exploit Museveni's network, hence his frequent visits to Museveni if sources are to go by. It is therefore in the same light that Kenyan deep state is now thwarting Ruto from accessing President Museveni, otherwise his stake ahead of the next year's election could go up. Many of those near Uganda's power sources say that Museveni is not a man who makes a pick and fails to sail through, and it seems the same information is known to Ruto, prompting him to be near the former. In same vein, it is said Museveni would rather support Ruto than Raila Odinga, that many say will contest for presidency Kenya next year, and hence Museveni finds himself in the middle of Ruto's troubles that stemmed from his quest to replace his current boss, that is President Uhuru Kenyatta. Well, that is it for now. Thanks for watching Projan Media TV. Baru, keep on updating with more of this. Kindly do one thing. Subscribe and turn on the notification button. All these updates will come to you in time.